Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen. I'm a certified weight loss and nutrition coach, and today we're talking about 7 white foods and what you should eat instead. This is a real thing. The white foods diet, it's a real thing. So if you're excited, give this video a big, huge thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed and your bell notification is turned on because I upload every Tuesday and Thursday, and you definitely don't want to miss a single video. Check out that description box down below for links and discounts to all of my favorite healthy things and nutrition coaching, where I offer personalized to you macros and calories. Highly recommend, and one-on-one coaching if you would like to chat with me directly. So let's jump into talking about 7 white foods and what you should be eating instead. The no white foods diet or the no white diet, it's a real thing. And honestly, I had never heard of this until I started doing some research. Basically, it's an eating pattern founded upon the notion of eliminating white foods from your diet and finding healthier replacements. Not only can this help you lose weight, but can also help with blood sugar control. A lot of white foods on the market are heavily processed, can be deemed unhealthy, higher in carbohydrates, and really contain a lot less nutrients, vitamins, and minerals than some of the other foods out there. So by thinking about white foods and eating them in moderation and finding healthier replacements, you can really do your body a lot of good. And remember, a lot of the white foods out there are highly processed, and our body does better with less processed foods, especially if you suffer from bloating or inflammation, or you have diabetes or medical issues that blood sugar spikes can really be a detriment. It's great to remove these white foods and choose a healthier option. So today we're going to talk about the 7 white foods that you can replace with something much healthier. Number 1, and to no surprise to anybody, is going to be your traditional white bread. This is one of the primary foods in the no white diet that is eliminated or eaten in really extreme moderation, and this includes everything from white bread to crackers to breakfast cereals. When white bread flour is refined, they're removing all of the germs and the minerals and the nutrients from the bread to make that white bread. It is heavily processed and heavily refined. It also removes all the fiber from the bread, and we know how important fiber is to a healthy diet. This results in really heavily processed, really high in carbs, and essentially no nutritional benefit at all. Research shows that a higher intake of white bread specifically leads to weight gain, which is partly due to the fact that it has a very reduced nutritional value. So by reducing your consumption of white bread or white flour in general, you can take some extra weight off and just become a healthier individual overall. So your healthier swap for white bread would be whole grain or sprouted bread. You generally find sprouted bread in the freezer section of your grocery store because it does have to remain frozen because it's not processed, and it needs to be frozen so that all of its nutritional value, vitamins, minerals, is still contained in the bread. And if you're not a fan of sprouted bread, getting a whole grain, whole wheat bread is a much better option because it's less processed, which means all the good stuff isn't removed, and generally this bread still has its fiber intact. That's a big tip. Check the fiber content of your bread and make sure that it has at least a few grams of fiber. If it doesn't have any fiber, it should be avoided. Number 2 is traditional white pasta. White pasta is just like white bread. It's been heavily processed and all of the nutrients has been removed. Interestingly enough though, white pasta has not been linked to weight gain as much as white bread, even though the pasta is more calorically dense per serving. The issue with pasta is portion size. It's very easy to overeat pasta. It's not a very filling food. It's more what you add to the pasta that actually makes you full. So it's easy to overeat pasta. A serving is 2 ounces dry. That's a lot of pasta. When we get a spaghetti or a fettuccine at a restaurant, it's generally 3 to 4 servings of pasta. So portions is where the issue comes in. So just like bread, a healthier swap for that would be a whole grain pasta. One of my favorites is a chickpea pasta. The Bonza brand is really delicious, and for me, I can't really tell the difference between that and traditional pasta. Another great option is Fiber Gourmet pasta. It has half the calories of traditional pasta and 25 grams of fiber, which, spoiler alert, is how much you need in a day per serving. And it's really delicious, and it is 100% the vibe of the unhealthier pasta. I'll link nutrition down below for you where you can pick up Fiber Gourmet pasta. definitely recommend. Just remember that fiber is essential for feeling full, satisfied, and for weight loss. It also helps slow the digestion of your food. And when we eat just regular white pasta, it's digested very quickly in the form of carbohydrates by our body. So choosing a healthier pasta, a whole grain pasta, a fiber-rich pasta is going to slow digestion and keep you fuller for longer. Number 3 is traditional white rice. Now, I love white rice, especially jasmine rice. Now, this rice starts as a whole grain, but during its processing, everything that's good about it is removed. The bran, the germ, and all of the fiber. This transforms it into that starchy, fluffy white rice that we've grown to love. The absence of fiber makes white rice very, very easy to consume. Have you ever noticed that if you eat white rice, you're hungry relatively shortly later? It's because that is processed very quickly by your body, turned into carbohydrates, and then used for energy or stored as fat. So make a healthier swap and choose brown rice. It's much less processed. It still has its vitamins, minerals, nutrients, and its fiber intact. And not to mention, because there's fiber in brown rice, it keeps you fuller for longer, which is a huge win. Number 4 is traditional white table sugar. Now you might be thinking, what about brown sugar and turbinado sugar and raw sugar? If you follow the no white diet or you want to follow its premise, it also restricts those sugars as well. Brown sugar, honey, turbinado sugar, and agave are still something that should be avoided on the diet. These are referred to as added sugars. All of these sugars, whether they're white or have some calories, and they offer very little nutrition. Because they're primarily made up of simple carbs or added sugars, again, they're digested very quickly by your body, and the nutritional value is nothing. So there is no point in eating a lot of these sugars. They've also been linked to some negative health consequences like unwanted weight gain and an increased risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes. So what's your healthier swap option? Because you're thinking no brown sugar, no turbinado sugar, swap it out with fruit that has naturally occurring sugar. If you suffer from a sweet tooth, fruit is a great option because it cures that sweet tooth, but it's a much healthier, well-balanced choice than added white table sugar. Yes, fruit contains simple sugars that are made in nature. They are chemically the same as white sugar, but the difference is fruit packs vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and fiber, which you're not going to find in any of the sugars I mentioned. All of these help eliminate the harmful effects of sugar. All of the added things that come naturally in fruit do your body good and helps your body prevent those same spikes that regular sugar can give you. So when you want something sweet, reach for your favorite fruit. Number 5 is traditional white salt. Now, salt comes in other colors, pink, blue, black, you name it. You can pretty much find a wide variety of colors of salt. While some salt is essential for health, there are some salts that are much better options than others. And really, the Western diet eats way too much salt. Excess salt intake is linked to very, very, very many health risks, including a risk of increased heart disease, stroke, obesity, and kidney disease. It doesn't mean you need to eliminate salt. You need to reduce the amount that you consume daily and also think about some healthier alternatives. And some of those are swapping salt for colorful herbs and spices. Herbs and spices can elevate the flavor of a dish even more than salt. One of my favorite things to do is to add just a pinch of salt to what I'm cooking and then fill in the gaps with herbs and spices. That's going to give me much more flavor or help me reduce the amount of salt that I'm intaking in that meal and on a daily basis. And I'm not going to miss the salt when my meal is packed with delicious flavor from herbs and spices. Number 6 is the traditional white potato. While potatoes are not inherently unhealthy, in fact, they are full of potassium, vitamin C, and fiber, which are essential nutrients. But they've earned a reputation for being unhealthy. When white potatoes are prepared in less than healthy ways, such as frying them, adding lots of butter and oil, this is where the potato can get a bad rap. It's okay to have potatoes. I eat potatoes pretty regularly. I would say maybe once or twice per week. But instead of having potatoes with every meal, how about swapping them out for some fun, colorful vegetables? Not only will you add beauty to your plate, but you'll be well on your way to getting in your veggies for the day. Eat a variety of vegetables from a variety of color groups: green, red, orange, purple, you name it. Vegetables come in a wide variety of beautiful colors. Starchy vegetables such as sweet potatoes, purple potatoes, red potatoes, those are great substitutions for the traditional white potato if it's just not something that you want to eat on a regular basis. Also try implementing delicious vegetables like asparagus, zucchini, leafy greens, tomatoes, carrots, bell peppers, you name it. There's a million beautiful, colorful, healthy options out there. And number 7 is animal-based fats. These are the fats that come from things like meat, dairy, and most of these are saturated fats. On this particular no white foods diet, they stick with more lean meats and seafood. So lots of chicken, ground turkey, shrimp, fish. Those are the types of meats that they gravitate towards to help reduce the amount of saturated fat and the animal fats that come in some of the other fattier cuts of meat out there. Saturated fats aren't inherently unhealthy, but an overconsumption of saturated fats can have negative health consequences. So it's okay to have red meat, a good juicy burger every once in a while. Just make sure that 70 to 80% of the proteins that you're eating are lower in saturated fat. Fill in the gaps with some of your favorite fattier cuts. You can also make a healthy swap of using plant-based fats. This is something that's become all the rage. Vegan, vegetarian, plant-based diets, all of these are pretty popular in the health community. The main source of fats from plant-based fats are things like avocado oil and olive oil, which are huge go-to staples. You can also get a lot of really heart-healthy plant-based fats from things like nuts, seeds, and avocados. Also major staples, especially in my life. So just making some healthier swaps can really benefit you overall. Now, we talked about a lot of white foods that are considered unhealthy, but there are a lot of healthy white foods out there as well. Some of those are vegetables, including cauliflower, onions, garlic, turnips, parsnips, and mushrooms, nuts and seeds, cashews, sesame seeds, pine nuts, legumes like white beans, meats like white fish and poultry, dairy, milk, yogurt, and cheese, and then lots of egg whites and coconut are some white foods that are inherently healthy. So what's the bottom line of today's video? This whole no white foods or no white diet is becoming increasingly more popular. But as I always say, I never restrict or eliminate any food or food group. We just eat everything in moderation. It's very simple to make some healthier swaps. Still enjoy your white foods, just in moderation. And when you think about it, and when it sounds good, make a healthier swap. Choose a sprouted or whole grain bread, go for brown rice, or have vegetables instead of potatoes with dinner at night. Focus on consuming whole, minimally processed foods, and you're well on your way to weight loss and a healthier, more sustainable lifestyle and diet overall. So if you enjoyed today's video and if you found it helpful, give it a big, huge thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed and your bell is turned on because I upload every Tuesday and Thursday, and you never want to miss a single video. Don't forget to check out the description box down below for nutrition coaching, as well as links and discounts to my very favorite healthy things. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.